Hello class, welcome to Health Education. Today we're going to be learning about peer pressure refusal skills and how to say no like you mean it. So I got a couple of handouts for you guys to help you out. There are 12 simple ways to avoid peer pressure, and before we begin, I have a special video for you guys. So buckle up, you're in for a treat. Oh, thank you for hitting the slides, Meredith. Y'all been having a pretty good day so far?
Fantabulous.
Fantabulous. That's what I like to hear. I know this sounds better than fantastic.
It is.
Okay. Just say we're having technological difficulties, so we're going to go for that again. Triple click that. You know, people always told me to do the double click, but I always feel like the triple click's a little more effective. Don't say you didn't learn something if you didn't learn anything about peer pressure refusal skills. Okay. Here it goes. Come on. Cross your fingers, class, big bucks, no whammies. Let's go. There we are. And the correct video. It's a little fast at the beginning, so I'm going to pause it and get you guys the full screen. And then ready?
Ready.
Buckle up.
Hey, good. You want to smoke? Nah, man, I'm good. Hey, I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to get you high. What do you say? Nah, man, I don't smoke weed. I smoke clowns like you on a b-ball court. You gotta remember something else you say, dude. I know. It's the first thing I can think of. But you did good, though, little brother. Big brother's a little brother.
So fantastic video. Meredith, could you hit those lights for me, please? So fantastic video. That shows a younger brother and an older brother staying above the influence. Ooh. YouTube's wanting to show another video on their own. Not sure why. I'll have to escape that. Bingo. Here we are. Peer pressure refusal skills. As you can tell in the video, the young gentleman showed some peer pressure refusal skills by saying, "I smoke clowns like you on the b-ball court." So that's a fun little saying. That's actually a saying, it's practice saying no. If you look at it, he's practicing with his big brother, practicing saying no in safe environments. You know, they're just hanging out, playing sports, and he's in a safe environment. So for example, when your big brother asks you to do something you do not want to do, that's a great way of practicing saying no. Oh yeah, and before, check this out. Obviously, if you're to a situation where you don't feel comfortable and, you know, show a type of move, like she's got her shoulders crossed like this. This is actually a great move and actually kind of a refusal skill, and it's done by body language. And doing this will actually help you in the long run to say no to smoking tobacco. So watch out for guys with backwards hats. Peer pressure. Peer pressure is the influence that other people your age have on your decisions. So don't give in to peer pressure and use drugs just because some of your peers do. That's wrong, and it's not right. You're going to be faced with that and with many challenges throughout your life, and multiple people are going to ask you to do drugs or try to do something that is going to affect your decisions and make your well-being go down. Use your own judgment. You know, use your own discretion, use your own discernment when you do things. Choose friends who respect you and share your morals and values. Obviously, these two guys are staying above the influence, and they chose other things to help you out, like playing sports. You can play basketball or any sport you wish. These guys obviously are playing golf, just having a good time and being friends. So that's really what it takes, is find a good core group of friends that you can hang out with to help you stay above the influence. So choose your friends wisely, my friends. Refusal skills. Refusal skill number 1. Meredith, would you please read refusal skill number 1?
Say no, like you mean it. Make eye contact, then say no, forcefully with authority. The more certain you are in your refusal, the less people will bug you.
So, Tara, what do you get from that? Like, how does saying no, like you mean it, really affect the situation you're in if somebody's trying to get you to do something wrong?
Then I didn't mean it.
So, no, I mean it. Couldn't said it better myself. That's great. And the more certain you are, the less likely they are to bug you about it. If someone offers you drugs, say that you are not interested. Tell the person that drugs are harmful to your health, to your well-being. And as you see, we have this nice little picture down here, and it's obviously saying drugs are bad. They're not the way to go. So obviously, it's not a very good idea. Refusal skills. Avoid possible problem situations. So a problem situation. If you know there's going to be drugs or alcohol, if you look at number 6 here, the refusal skill, then at a party, make other plans. Or if you're going out with a guy, avoid being alone with him. Especially for you girls. The guys have minds of their own. And you do not want to fall into temptation or peer pressure skills. Or peer pressure situations. So be wise. Anywhere he might pressure you to get more physical than you want to be. Okay? Get away from troublemakers. Troublemakers are risky to be around. You don't want to be around them. Don't stop to talk with people you know are bad influences. So if you know people are bad and they have a bad reputation, you want to get away from them. So people with bad reps, you know who they are. They talk here at school. You know these people around here, and you know who the bad ones are. So be wise. You don't need to become involved in harmful, illegal activities in order to be cool. That doesn't get you cool. That actually gets you uncool. It actually, you could say it gets you warm or some type like that. So, be braver than the people who are doing harmful, illegal activities. Refusal skills. Ignore the person. Another great way is to ignore the person. You don't always have to talk to everybody that you see or that you recognize. Kind of like the guy with the bad rap. You don't have to talk to them. You can ignore them. That's actually a refusal skill. Tara, could you find this refusal skill on here? I know it's going to be difficult. How about... Maybe I don't have that one. Maybe that's one that I should add, and it's number 13. Okay, that's all right. You don't always have to talk and interact with everyone. I thought it was on there. I apologize. Especially if they are involved in illegal or risky activities, as we talked about. One way to get your point across is to ignore the invitation of abusing drugs, such as putting your headphones in, running past them, and using the cold shoulder technique. So these are all great skills that you can use, added on to these 12 here. So you can just run past them, put your headphones in, act like you don't see them, ignore them. I'm not telling you to be rude. I'm telling you to be wise. So remember that. Okay. Peer pressure. Peer pressure has a major influence on the decisions of youth today. Choose friends who respect your decisions and stay above the influence. And use the methods to avoid situations and troublemakers. As we talked about, avoid troublemakers, avoid risky activities. Tomorrow, we will go more in depth on ways to avoid drug use. So before we wrap this up, I want to start by talking about each individual refusal skills. So back up, number 2. Back up a no with a positive statement. For example, if you are turned down and offered to smoke weed, say something like, I like my brain the way it thinks. Or if you're involved in the type of situation where something's going to go bad, say, guys, I say something positive. So it's positive reinforcement. It's not necessarily that you have to be negative to everybody who's doing bad. You have to be the good example. You guys have to set the example. We have to accept the example. Practice saying no. Terry, could you read number 3 for me?
Practice saying no in safe environments. For example, when your big brother asks you to do something you don't want to do.
So that's kind of like the video we watched when he said, I smoke clowns like you on the b-ball court. That was a practice situation. Number 4, be repetitive. Don't hesitate to state your position over and over again. Stay where you are, stay where you stand. Number 5, Meredith, could you read number 5 for me, please?
Get away from the pressure zone. Leave the scene. Make your exit.
There you go. So find the pressure zone, find where it's at, and get out of there. You don't need to be around it. Avoid stressful situations in the first place. Kind of like the alcohol and drugs party that we were talking about earlier. 7, use the buddy system. So find a buddy that you guys like. You two are great buddies, Tara and Meredith. You guys are great buddies. So find a friend who shares your values and back each other up. Hang out with each other. Avoid people who are trying to get you to things that you do not want to do and that you know are wrong. Don't buy the line that everyone is doing it. The truth is, not everyone is doing it. Actually, percentages, they're going to run into it and maybe do it at one point, but it's a matter of fact of staying away from it and always avoiding it. Number 9. Tara, could you read number 9 for me, please?
Consider the results of giving in. Take a moment to think about the consequences of your actions.
So, very good. So think about the decisions that you are making. So, therefore, if you're making a decision of something you know is wrong, something you know is risky, think about what the type of consequences that could be involved with this. Find ways to excel. Challenge yourself to do your best. Focus your attention on following your personal goals instead of the goals of the group. So look into your heart, look inside you, and realize, hey, is this benefiting me or is this endangering me? You need to always ask these questions. Ask these questions of how it's going to benefit you. It's not selfish, it's actually pretty smart. Selfish thoughts would be, hey, I'm going to cut that guy in line so I can get my food faster. See, that's selfish thought. This is not a selfish thought of find ways to excel. Meredith, could you read Evaluate Your Friendships for me, number 11?
If your friends are always bugging you to do something you're not comfortable with, remember that true friends like you for who you are, not who they want you to be.
Exactly. So, true friendships. Tara, Meredith, you guys got a great friendship going on. You guys accept each other for who you are and what you are. So you need to evaluate your other friendships around you. Obviously, you guys have a great one, but the ones around you that are trying to get you to do things that you don't want them to do, who are trying to influence you, you need to avoid them. You need to stay away from them. You need to say no. Number 12, find new friends. If you decide that your friends don't have your best interests at heart, search out new friends who share your values and interests. So this is like this. If you're any type of Bible believer or any type of religion or any type of or you just want to stay above the influence, you need to find friends who share your same interests. So, like I said, look into your heart, look inside your mind, and realize who you are out there dealing with and who is out there who's trying to make you do risky activities. So be wise, guys. And I believe that's all. That's all we had today, class. Now we're going to go outside and we are going to practice our refusal skills. So we're going to use number 3 for all 12. Or even trying to do the cold shoulder technique, running past some headphones in, or whatever you guys need to do to really enhance your skills. So thank you for coming out, and I'll see you guys line up at the door in a single file line, bubbles and ducktails. All right, here we go.